Talk now to Catherine Norris-Trent, who is in Ukraine on the ground for France 24. Catherine, you've been moving around the region. Where are you right now, and what can you tell us?
I am a bit further away northwest, of the city of Mariupol. We've moved outside the city because there was some loud explosions there early this morning. Sporadic, but there were a few of them, and the reports of shelling on eastern suburbs of the town. And we've just been in contact with a high-ranking naval official from the Coast Guard in Mariupol. Of course, it's a key port city, and he says that they can see Russian boats in the Sea of Azov. As yet, they haven't fired. He says they are expecting them to do so. And he also said that Mariupol, Ukraine's defences there, would also fire in return, that they are not going to give up the city. They would stand a fight. We saw some scenes of, not panic exactly, but of people queuing up to buy petrol, to buy, get cash out, and to buy medicine from drugstores in the city. People had been perhaps in a bit of disbelief that this full-scale attack, or if it turns out an attack does take place, but now it seems that reality is dawning on them. We've seen a lot of traffic on the roads out of Mariupol, people driving west out of the city, and a lot of people there clearly feeling very vulnerable and very stressed indeed at this time. You know, we spoke to some of those queuing up at lines at petrol stations and gas stations, filling up their cars, saying that they didn't know exactly where they were going to go, but they wanted to get themselves and their families safe. They were trying to keep calm, but of course now finding themselves in the midst of this crisis.
Right, so people seem to be pretty concerned and leaving the region. You said you've been talking to them. Can you tell us a little bit more about the feeling that people are having right now in Ukraine?
People have been feeling galvanized by these reports of an incoming invasion. Some of them, it's been stirring up national pride. You know, I spoke to people in Mariupol who said they would stand and they would fight for their city by whatever means they had. There have been people volunteering, trying to enlist into the Ukrainian armed forces, saying that they would not accept this attack on their city. You know, there are others, though, with pro-Russian sympathies. It's really not far at all from the border with Russia and from these separatist republics. And some people saying that they've had enough of this threat of war for the past 8 years, because it's been vulnerable ever since, really, even though the conflict has been simmering at a low level. But this upspike in it has left people feeling a bit fatalistic, thinking that, you know, this is a long-term prospect for their city. One woman told me she actually didn't mind the prospect of Russian troops arriving because she hoped at least it would bring stability and stop the shelling. There's been an uptick in shelling around the border, the line of contact, as it's known, around the line there in the Donbass, which separated out those so-called separatist republics of Donetsk and Luhansk, Russian-backed, Russian-controlled, of course. And there's been an uptick in the shelling there. We've heard reports of that from along the front line there. And so people are tired of living in nervousness and tired of making plans. You know, other people telling me that they'd been stocking up on food and drink and blankets, finding basements, safe places to sleep, trying to make contingency plans, but also almost not believing that this day would come when attack would be launched on their city.
Okay, France 24's Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, stay safe out there.